Hello guys, I've just got in from the Emirates Stadium. The reason I don't do the matches in the ground, don't do the videos, sorry, in the ground by the way, is obviously that I have to wear a mask at all times and I don't think you'd be able to hear me through my mask. And I don't want to break those rules. So, I've just got in, very dispiriting evening all told, 3-0 to Liverpool. I think I'm probably as alarmed and disappointed about the Kieran Tierney injury as I am about the result, which tells you a few things. I think it tells you kind of the degree of hope I have held out for our Premier League campaign for some time now. I've thought for a little while that our chances of making Europe through the Premier League were very, very slim, and that's obviously not changed. I think the Europa League is kind of what there is to play for between now and the end of the season. And Tierney's obviously incredibly important to that. And to be without him, possibly for the upcoming ties in that competition, is a huge concern. I actually think if you look at our performance, as the first half was pretty bad, but it was quite a lot worse after he went off. I think defensively we kind of went to pieces actually, particularly on that side. I think it was a big part of the defensive plan was that sort of half of the pitch, Gabriel and Tierney, keeping them tight, keeping them close together. Once Cedric came on, that fell apart. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah exploited the space. But look, even when Tierney was on the field, we weren't close to Liverpool. They completely dominated this game. I've just seen a quote from Mikel Arteta saying he doesn't want to blame the absentees. He doesn't want to sort of use that as an excuse, which I find an interesting quote because it felt to me like his approach to the game was determined by those absentees. That he allowed the fact that key players like Luiz, Xhaka, Saka and Smith Rowe were absent to mean reverting to the kind of project restart tactics of sitting deep and trying to catch the opponent on the break. He says he doesn't want to use it as an excuse, but I feel it was important in this game. Maybe more important than it had to be, but I feel that it determined the way Arsenal approached this match. That said, that approach did not work. Some of that was down to poor individual performances. I think poor collective performances. It'd be harsh almost talk about any one individual because very few players emerged with much credit. We were all second best by a long, long way today. Liverpool are a much better team than Arsenal. And I don't say that to sort of excuse the result. I say it because I think we're sometimes guilty of, as fans, we want to see the best from our team, the best from our club. I think sometimes we see a player have a good performance or a team produce a good performance and we lean into the positive. It's our nature, it is our tendency, it's what we want to do, what we want to believe. You know, we score 3 goals and come back against West Ham and we go, wow, you know, what brilliant attacking play. I imagine we'll just do that from now on. And we forget about the part of the game we get so wrong. You know, we see a player have a really good performance and we think, well, I just presume he'll continue to do that. Whereas actually the mark of a really good player is consistency. And that is one thing this Arsenal team are absolutely not consistent. Sometimes we're hot, sometimes we're cold. There are parts of the game we do well, there are other parts of the game we don't do well. We are pretty average, in my opinion. You know, I said on Twitter, we're very mid-table. I don't know what you call mid-table, but for me, I suppose it's outside of the top 6. You know, certainly not close to the top 4, and we're not. You know, this was not a Champions League team. It's not even nearly a Champions League team. And again, this isn't to absolve the manager. He's responsible for this, as he said in his press conference. I just think that I think this season has been shouting at us all season, you're an average team. You have good days and bad days, good games and bad games. I always remember Amy Lawrence, we had a good week a few weeks ago where Arsenal won a couple of games, and she said, I'd like to see Arsenal have a good month. I'm not sure we have. Have we had a good month this season? Maybe January? I forget now. But it doesn't feel like it particularly. And that's the mark of a good team. Everyone can play well in spurts. Everyone can play well in bursts. In this league, a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams... And we go, well, we've got a lot of talent. Guess what? A lot of teams in this league have got a lot of talent. We don't exist in a vacuum. You know? You look at a side like West Ham, and you'd say, well, that's a mid-table team. Well, guess what? They're doing better than us. I don't really know what the point of this is. I think it's just to say that, I suppose when I see the scale of the disappointment, the sort of lack of quality in this performance, part of me is surprised that people are surprised. I do think that as soon as we get some sort of positive progression, we think, well, we'll just carry on doing that, I imagine. And that isn't how it works. We're not capable of that. I don't know. I'm still figuring this out, but I'm always surprised at the surprise at the moment. I'm like, have you seen us? That's how I feel. Have you seen us play? And they're like, yeah, well, we were good again for 20 minutes against West Ham, or 45 minutes, whatever it might be. Yeah. Have you seen us in the other games? And it has got a bit better since Christmas. I'm not saying it hasn't. It has. But it's not got, like, lots better. It's not got, like, suddenly we're a really good team better. Bernd Leno's conceded goals in 12 consecutive games or something like that. Worst run of any goalkeeper since 2003. I mean, we have to look at both ends of the pitch. Something that's not talked about very much. Our attacking improvement appears to have been offset by defensive aggression. We prefer what we're watching now, but there's been a cost. Anyway. I'm not that upset that Liverpool battered us, because I'm like, well, yes, they've had a rocky season, but they're miles better than us. They're miles better than us. We've got so far to go. This was a sort of bigger gulf as the Man City game before Arteta took charge, where they completely walked all over us. It was as big a gulf as that. And I think we learn what this team looks like without Smith Rowe and Saka, pretty ugly. And I think we learned a little bit about what they look like without Louise and Xhaka. They're not popular, but they're pretty important. I hesitate before saying this. I don't think Ceballos is close to the player Xhaka is. Ouch. Right. The comments should be interested on this, because I think people are going to think I've lost the plot, but I'm going to leave it there. It's horrible when you lose like that. It's horrible. Bye. By the way, these post-it notes, how to fix Arsenal. Just so I've got so many and I'm moving around desperately trying to make it work. See you later. Bye.